Hello, beautiful people. I'm so excited to come and share with you today the Finding Your Why exercise. It's getting old for me because we've been doing it for ages. And it was something that I invented back in about 2019, wasn't it, Janet? 2020. And I've been holding on to Janet's coattails since 2018. So I'm eight years sober this year. And one of the things that I enjoy doing is coming and seeing you guys starting your journey, feeling all nervous, worrying about it, how's life going to be, and seeing you progressing and getting more enthusiastic and starting to find the new you, because that's one of the things you're doing with this. You're having to go and seeing what sobriety feels like and dreaming about what your life could possibly be if you weren't pouring it all into a bottle of alcohol. So I'm dead excited to be here and sharing with you today. But I've got some news that I want to share first. And you'll be the first person to hear this, but I have wild barn owls nesting at my house in our hay barn. I live in England. And we put cameras in the barn owl boxes. I have two boxes. And we've got a pairing. And today, my first egg hatched. And this is what you get when you stop drinking. You start getting interested in other things. So I've been excitedly watching how many mice the male barn owl brings in for the female. He always brings her a mouse, hops on for a quickie, scoots off again. It's typical barn owl sort of stuff. But it's funny how you get interested in all sorts of weird things when you stop drinking. You get a new life and it becomes more exciting. So I'm so excited to share the news with you. Look at Sarah laughing at me. I'm so excited to share the news with you that we have had the first barn owl chick hatched. And if I get my act together, I'll put a picture on for you. And everybody going that's not been here, we're going, what picture of a barn owl on our feed? But you guys will know because you're here. Anyway, sorry. And the other thing you find out about me is that I go off piste and I go down little alleys and I forget where I'm at. So you just have to suck it up and go with the ride today. Finding your why, that's what we're talking about. If you guys have done the exercise, that's absolutely brilliant. And I know a lot of you have, and I've jotted down the times you put them on. So we're going to talk about those, what you've come up with. But the reason the Finding Your Why exercise, it helped me and it's helped lots of people is because giving up alcohol isn't easy. If it was easy, nobody would have concerns about the drinking. We'd all be moderators and that would be that. But the reality is alcohol is a very addictive substance and we use it. It's not only physically addictive in our chemistry, it's also psychologically addictive because we use it as a coping strategy. So when we stop using it, we're physically addicted to it to an extent, and B, we use it as our coping strategy. It's our comfort blanket. So when we stop drinking, suddenly we're going through a withdrawal of some form, and it's like somebody's stolen our comfort blanket. So when anything goes wrong, we don't know how to deal with it because we've not learned better, healthier coping skills. So it is going to get tough. If you go the journey, it is going to get tough. And there'll be days when you really want to drink and the wine which is screaming in your face and it's all terrible and you're wondering why you're doing it. So having good reasons for doing it, knowing why you're going through this tough phase and you're not just opening a bottle of wine is very important. And the Finding Your Why exercise goes a bit into the back of your head because you write these things out quickly. You don't think about it. Knowing what the most important things are for you to be doing this work, because it is hard. Any sort of change is hard. And when you're dealing with an addictive substance, it's doubly hard or triply hard or 10 times harder. What you guys are doing is amazing. The fact that it's day 2 and you've turned up, that's a bloody miracle to start off with. Most people sign up to things and then never show up. I'm going to do you some fireworks if we can do fireworks. Yeah, there you go. Have some fireworks, guys. You guys are amazing. So day 2 is good. You might be white knuckling it. You might be going, oh, this is easy. But the fact that you're here is very impressive. So I'm grateful that you're here and I'm delighted that you're looking at me, even though some of you are looking at me like, what the bloody hell is she talking about? Anyway, so finding your why. Yes. So having your reasons for being sober and for following a sober route, even if you're just curious at the moment, we don't do forever. The F word doesn't always come into it. We can talk about that later. But you're starting this journey, and different people will be finding different amounts of difficulties. But knowing why you're doing it is really one of the most important things. So Is there anybody that's, if people haven't done the exercise yet, it's not a complicated exercise. And we said, because so many of you were doing the exercise and had already posted things, we wouldn't go through the get your pen out and do the writing. But if you haven't done it yet, it's a really important one to do, I feel. And it will help you, because knowing your reasons and having them written down and looking at them and turning them into positive affirmations, all this work we're going to do is an important step. And it's pushing you in the right direction. It's giving you some confidence, and it's giving you reasons to go through the tough bits. I don't really need to say a lot more about it. I think that's plenty for us to go through and say, do the exercise. If you haven't done it, please do it. And if you're watching this on catch up, please do this exercise if you haven't bothered. It's one of the fundamental things, and it will really help you. One of my biggest reasons for wanting to be sober was because I got ill health. I got loads of trouble with my guts. There was a lot of I had a head injury. I'm a dysfunctional person anyway. I had a head injury some years ago, 20 years ago. And so I have a dysfunctional memory, and my brain wasn't doing brilliantly. My guts were doing badly. My skin was poor. Oh, that's the thing. If you haven't taken a picture of yourself, a selfie photo, do it today when you're finished, because you will be amazed how your face changes, how your skin looks brighter, your eyes look brighter, your smile goes, your puffiness and blotchiness will go as well. So if you haven't taken a photo of yourself so far, please take one today. You don't ever have to show it to anybody, but I'll be honest with you, in 3 months' time, when you compare yourself now and then, you'll be amazed at the change. So please take one. And quite a few people do come along and show everybody that I've changed, because you might not notice on a day-to-day basis, but I'll tell you, your friends and family will start to notice. 3 months' time, they'll be going, what are you doing that's different? If you haven't told them you've stopped drinking, they'll be going, what are you doing that's different? Because you will look different and you'll feel very different too. So, Janet, what else do I need to tell these guys? I'm the most enthusiastic sober advocate. But laughing at me now as well, but because it gives you so many opportunities. I'll go. Give me just 2 minutes more, and then you stop.
Right.
But
You tell me.
yeah, because you suddenly get your life back when you stop drinking. You spend an awful lot of money drinking. You spend an awful lot of time thinking about drinking and organising things and creating your life around drinking. As Janet said, I'm the hobby queen. I do tons of different hobbies, and so you've suddenly got more time. Because when you stop drinking, you're suddenly going, like, what can I do with my time? What shall I do this evening? I'm bored. Don't tell me you're bored. Go and get a hobby. Read a book. Join a club. There's so many things you can do that don't involve drink. And so you've got time and you've got money, which means that you can start to do exciting things with your life. You can start to dream about what you'd like to do. And you can start to live those dreams. And if nothing else, you have a go at something. And if it's not what you like, you don't do it anymore. You pick something else. So you're not stuck with something if you don't like it. So you're going to get better health. You're going to get hobbies and things that you enjoy. You're going to sadly lose some friends that the only thing you had in common with them was actually going out and getting pissed. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. And you're going to make new friends that have got more interesting lives because they don't drink. Have you ever noticed when you're with drinking people, they tend to talk about what other people do, and quite often in a negative frame of mind. When you stop drinking, you start to talk about what you're doing and about what you're interested in and exciting things. And suddenly you become a much more interesting person and people will be saying, oh, have you seen Monica? Did you know that she moved halfway around the world with her young son and has created a new life in Aberdeen, in Scotland? They won't say, oh, so Monica pissed last week at the pub. It's become really interesting. She's an interesting person and she's doing things. And she's got things to talk about because she's done so many things. Same with Lynn. Lynn goes out and does amazing tours in Cape Town and around that area. And so she's got loads of interesting things to talk about. And she knows all the dodgy haunts because she's been there. And she's also now knows all the interesting places. So she can cope with anybody, really, whatever they want to do. Life suddenly gets more interesting, and you get more interesting when you're a sober person.